So this is Ta-Nehisi Coates on Hasan Piker's Twitch stream, answering questions about his experience in the West Bank.
Constant surveillance state, without constant violence, without checkpoints, things that you saw. It only took you maybe not even 10 days. I assume it took you just one day to immediately recognize what was going on. Could you talk a little bit about your experience in Hebron specifically and just in the West Bank as well that caused you to fully realize what was going on?
First of all, Hebron is very poor. Let me clarify that. Palestinians who live in the old city of Hebron are very poor. They're very poor because their shops and markets have been completely shut down, because every step that they take is patrolled and they have to navigate a series of checkpoints and, security. I watched a soldier with a huge automatic rifle turn back.
I've seen this too, actually, when I've been to the West Bank.
Surveillance is not true of everyone who lives in the old city of Hebron. It's true of Palestinians who live in the old city of Hebron. For somebody who was reared on stories of Jim Crow, who came up under that as a collective experience, as an African American, first of all, you drive to Hebron. We were coming from East Jerusalem to get there, and there are separate roads delineated for citizens of Israel and Jewish settlers of the West Bank. Those roads are not the same quality, are not the same, efficiency. We are driving past homes in which you can clearly see the difference between a settlement and where Palestinians live. Everything down to the very water that they drink and bathe with is segregated, and the apportionment that they get is very different. We have more rights to navigate on the street than people who live there, than people whose parents live there, than people whose grandparents and great-grandparents live there. I've told the story, several times.
The indigenous people, the Palestinians.
About the age of my son, who demanded that I tell him my religion in order to be let pass. And this is actually more complicated and more sinister than it sounds, because I got to the point where my grandmother was a Christian and he let me pass. But had I had an Arabic name, had I had an Arabic look about me, or had I been, Palestinian, I wouldn't have got
Muslim.
For instance, why a Palestinian Christian? My religion would not matter. See, this is when you start buttressing up against the racism and understand that even though somebody is asking a question about religion, they really aren't asking, do you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? That's not what they're asking. You don't need a degree in Middle East studies. You don't need, to be fluent in Arabic and Hebrew to understand what's going on. It's that clear.
It's not a complicated issue. It's really not. It's very, very simple.